Hello people, hello miners, hello crafters. Today in the world of Minecraft Pocket Edition version 1.2.8, aka MCPE, formerly known as Bedrock Edition, I'll be showing you how to make a flying slime block elevator, the one that goes up and down. So I actually copied this lift from Reddit user Maladjusted Platypus, who was, he developed it with Discord user MYMC. It took me about 2 evenings to piece together their design from the video I just showed you a clip of, and it was actually really fun, putting my redstone and piston knowledge to the test until I got the same working slime block flying elevator. What I want to achieve with this video is to give you enough of an understanding of how lifts work, so that by the end of it, you won't need to keep coming back to watch it. So right now on screen I'm demonstrating the principle of how lifts in Minecraft work, using simple examples of lifts that you can build too. The most basic explanation of how lifts work here is that normal pistons push the sticky piston up, and the sticky piston pulls the normal piston back up to join it. The normal pistons never push themselves backwards when they push, even if it's floating in air by itself. It's strong enough to push up to 12 blocks. Anymore and it just doesn't work. Same with the slime block, it can also pull up to 12 blocks. Normal pistons can push slime blocks away without staying attached. Slime blocks stick to anything except immovable blocks like obsidian or shulker boxes. So check out these simple examples and play around with them yourselves until you understand the concept practically. So let's watch the lift in action. It looks like the lift moves in 3 main parts: top, middle and bottom. Top, middle, bottom, top, middle, bottom, top, middle, bottom. On to the breakdown. So what happens is the middle part pushes the top away and leaves it there. Then the bottom part pushes the middle up to join the top and leaves it there. The middle section brings the bottom part to join the whole lift, and now we're good to start all over again. I've used white blocks to represent the observers here that will power the pistons. Next up I'll show you how to build it. It's a good idea to sketch out diagrams like this, as it will make your life so much easier. So, to start with, let's make a basic launch station with 3 immovable obsidian blocks and a redstone lamp or any block that can be powered, and a lever and some redstone dust. This is going to set off the simple launch chain reaction in a minute. So, to build this half of the lift, we got an observer facing downwards, so that the arrow is pointing up, meaning that the power travels up into that piston. The piston, sticky piston, 3 slime blocks. Now this observer here needs to face outwards, so that the power from its face goes behind it and powers the slime block behind it, which will set off this normal piston every time it moves. Sticky piston there to follow, and 2 slime blocks. And that's pretty much it, but to stop it being a big old bouncy castle, we put 2 normal blocks of your choice up there. For the other half we have 3 slime blocks. Right, we got a sticky piston facing downwards. Sometimes it's a bit tricky to place the block exactly how you want it, from a phone anyway, so you may need to stand directly underneath it to place it right, but it worked here. Normal piston, and here we need an observer facing upwards with the arrow pointing downwards, so that it will power the sticky piston as part of the middle, bringing the bottom up to the middle, and the rest is just finishing off the platform. Slime blocks and normal blocks of your choice. So to launch the lift into the sky, we simulate the observers in a set order. We can use a flint and steel on the face of the observers to do that. So first we set off the middle one, then we activate the bottom one, and that's what the lever was there for, and the upward facing observer will be triggered automatically after that. If you're building this in survival mode, you could set the lift off like an action hero and climb the ladder, daringly, knowing this is your only and final chance for freedom, truth, and justice, and jump and somehow Make it just in time to escape the approaching creepers and other mobs out to get you like a real hero. Yeah, or you could just set up an immovable block like obsidian, set up in the sky in advance, let the lift stop of its own accord, and pillar up and join it in your own time. So I'm going to be a bit unusual and work on the return station first, because I've explained so far how to make the lift go upwards, but before the lift can travel in a downward direction, some pieces of the lift need to be swapped around. So, in order for the lift to move down, the process must be reversed. So the middle pushes the bottom down, the bottom pulls the midsection towards it, and the top, well, that's not right. We need to swap this piston and sticky piston. And once we've done that, then we can complete the cycle. And once again, the middle pushes the bottom down, the bottom pulls the midsection towards it, and the top is pulled down from the middle. So let's move on to the return station of the lift. If you're building this in survival, I highly recommend building some sort of scaffolding of cheap blocks. And bring water, and bring gravel or sand, and try not to fall off. And bring torches. And place an obsidian underneath the lift to lock it into place. And test as you go along. It can get real frustrating real quick. So our launch station can be broken into 3 parts. We have the piston swapper, we have the observer switches, I guess, and we have the launcher. So first thing to build and test is the piston switcher. Once you see the pattern of how it moves the 2 pistons around, it should be clear where to place the pistons. Then we can build the circuitry afterwards. So we're going to place an observer on the sticky piston here, facing outwards, to create a simple double extending piston. What we are creating first here is this pulse circuit that will snatch the sticky piston out from the lift. So what's going to happen there is we will put some redstone dust behind the sticky piston, not on the sticky piston, or it could cause troubles for the circuit. Then place 3 redstone torches here, here and here, and some more redstone dust on this block here. So next we're going to work on getting the double extender to slide the lift's other piston along. Make these steps coming down from the switch. Put a repeater here on 1, 2, 3, 4 ticks, like so, and some redstone dust will go into this block, which will power the double extender system. Having the repeater here on 4 ticks means the double extender will only do its job of sliding the piston across after the first piston is snatched out from the lift. Now, as I'm testing as I go along, I do have to move the snatched piston over. Basically follow the steps here and you should have an effective piston swapper. So repeat it here at 4 ticks. Repeat it here at 2 ticks. That runs into that block. Make sure to run the redstone dust into it. So put that block on top of the piston with a repeater going into it, set to 3 ticks. That way it should pulse after the initial snatch piston circuit runs. Let's try that again. Great. So we've got our circuit to match the example. Once again, place the pistons in a position so that it will slide the observers over to where they need to be. Got a double extender down here, set to slide the downwards facing observer over. One here. Got it set up vertically, a bit different from the other ones. Make sure the observer is facing downwards. Which is not easy. There we go. That means the arrow is pointing upwards, like so. And you can see the double extender will push the observer across to the right in place to trigger the normal piston downwards when we launch it. And over here, we're actually creating the trigger to launch the whole of the lift. It's a double extender that will change the space in front of the observer upwards facing and set it off. So just before we set the circuitry up, we just want to run some of these blocks down from the lift launching double extender. Let's run it down here and put a repeater into this block. 1 tick is enough. Running the circuit up here is pretty straightforward. You just basically run it across that piston into the block. Lastly, to complete our launching station, this next arrangement should shift the observers on the lift over to the lift's downward cycle positions. Just set the blocks up along here, and we'll be running the current up from the top. Siphon this redstone over here, and the repeaters here are to delay this part of the launcher until after the piston swapper upstairs has completed its job. So all that's really left now is to give it a test run and try and set it off. And remember to get rid of the obsidian at the bottom blocking it. If you have any issues, then you probably need to start the lift manually from this observer here. You can just use a flint and steel and it should set it off.